Hello, YouTube. Islanders. 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 You are Islanders. What's up, my lovely Islanders? It's Sydney Island here. That's Island with the Y, not an S. And in this video, I want to talk about something that I have been terrified. Is the word terrified? Hesitant. I want to talk about something that I have been hesitant to talk about on my channel for a long time. And that topic is relationships. There's many reasons why I've been hesitant to talk about this, but I feel like I don't want to keep putting this pressure on myself to get to a certain point in my relationship life before I make a video, but instead to just make a video based upon how I feel about relationships with the experiences that I have now. I felt like, oh, I have to get into a relationship and I have to have dated this amount of people and had this amount of sex before I can make a video about relationships. But the fact of the matter is that why not make a video for those who are in a situation similar to mine now? Because there's plenty of people who are. And that situation is the truth, which is that I'm 23 years old and I've never been in a long-term relationship. Matter of fact, I never really had an actual real boyfriend. And it's kind of hard to believe or accept or understand because I'm going to be honest, I'm pretty. At least to myself. And a lot of other people, guys have been hitting on me since, I was like 11, maybe even younger. So I've always been deemed physically attractive to males and females. I mean, safe to say, when I have an account on a dating app, I get a lot of hearts. I get a lot of likes. But the truth is that looks don't matter when it comes to relationships. I kept saying to myself, well, I'm pretty, so why am I always single? And then I thought to myself, is there something wrong with my personality? I'm a fun person. I'm friendly. I'm smart, very smart. So, I mean, I have a lot of talent. I'm very creative. I always make friends everywhere that I go. I have a, pretty awesome sense of style. Why am I always single? And then I thought, oh well, let's go the astrological route. Let's think about astrology, zodiac signs. Is it because I'm a Taurus? I do know a lot of Tauruses who are kind of always single. The most sexiest Tauruses even, will always be single. Of course, not all Tauruses or anything like that, but this is just a generalization. Relationships is just confusing to me. I change my mind a lot about what I want, and that's part of the reason why I've been single, is because I've been confused. I was a part of this situation for like 2 months with this guy, and it was forced polyamory or whatever you want to call it. At the time, I was a college student, about 21, and I really wanted to be in a monogamous relationship. But that's not what he wanted, and I accepted that. I went along with it, and I was like, okay. That being said, I am not opposed to polyamory still. As a matter of fact, dealing with what I dealt with, it made me want to be polyamorous even more. And I'm realizing that I'm just very different than a lot of other people. I just want different things, and I just need to stop trying to make the things that I want acceptable to other people. I'm finally at this point where I'm realizing that God separated me from relationships for a really good reason. A lot of girls are in relationships, and they're in relationships with guys that are abusive. Physically abusive, verbally, psychologically, all types of abusive. And I have been spared from dealing with that just because I've always been single. So for a long time I looked at the negative of it. Got a text message. For a long time I looked at the negative side of being single. Always, really. I just thought it was just so horrible that I was single. I just thought that I was just weird and that I was different and I was just this weirdo. And fast forward to now, having all this time by myself, I've spent a lot of time looking within, and just a lot of time within introspection and looking at my past. And I realized how all that time being single was really saving me, was really preventing me from unnecessary trauma, from getting involved with people who didn't have my best interest in mind. Honestly, I was prevented from wasting my time, because even the little short little flings that I was a part of, it was a waste. It was pointless. I did not need to be a part of that crap. And just trying to be intimate and sexual with people that I wasn't even in deep relationships with. Why? I didn't get anything out of it. I felt myself slipping a little bit, just almost getting into that depressive way of thinking about my singleness, and thinking, oh, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. I'm 23 and I'm still what? Single. Nothing has changed. I'm still single. But the truth is that things have changed. I feel a lot better about myself now than I did back then. And the fact of the matter is that all of this time alone has helped me to build a much stronger sense of self. And it helped me to really realize what I really wanted out of relationships and what I really wanted to do with my career. Just spending so much time hanging out with friends and trying to be involved in relationships, which wasn't even really a relationship. It took a chunk of time away from me doing what I love, which is acting and music and just creative stuff. I wasn't being creative during the time that I was hanging out and sleeping with this guy. It was just unproductive. And I thought that I was doing something just because I was being taken away from myself, who I was always constantly avoiding. And that's why I couldn't be single, because I felt there was something wrong with me. And when you feel that there's something wrong with you, you're going to feel like you need somebody else to make you feel less like there's something wrong with you. You know what I mean? And it's at this point where I'm like, what's wrong with me? What is so much better about all these people out in this world that I need to spend more time with them than with myself? What's wrong about me? And so I have to literally stop myself from getting into that mindset, because if I just let myself, I will get into that mindset and think, oh, I'm still single, I'm this, I'm that. And I don't want to think like that anymore. I want to just, no pressure. I just don't want to feel the pressure anymore, because it was just so much pressure for myself to always be with somebody, and to always, and it's crazy because I had all this pressure, but I never even was with anybody the whole entire time. And it just shows, like, the law of attraction. When you really, 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 really want something, you don't get it. I was always wanting a man. I was always desperate. I'm going to admit it, I was desperate. And I was ashamed of that. Dating is a lot more complicated than us young folks want to admit. And we just throw ourselves into the dating scene just so that we can not be alone or not be left out. We don't want to feel like that everybody else is having fun and we're just on the sidelines not really doing anything. But trust me, honey, being alone by yourself, you are doing plenty. You are doing everything that you need to do if you are by yourself. For me, if I had been in relationships for this whole entire span of, like, what, the past 3 years, if I had been taken, I wouldn't have all these videos up. I wouldn't have over 500 subscribers, because in the place of the times that I was taking to film and edit those videos, in the place of that time, I would have been going on dates and most likely having sex that I didn't enjoy, because you really need to get to know a guy if you're really going to enjoy it. For me personally, I can't enjoy sex if I don't know a guy. Pace yourself. Pace yourself. You do not need a man right now, or a girlfriend, to matter. Having a partner does not add more value or take away your value. Spend that time that you're by yourself. Spend it discovering yourself, and spend it trying to figure out who you are and what you really want. Right now, in this moment, I could feel a lot better, but I don't. because I decided I wanted to eat more than I know that I should eat, out of sadness and feeling that empty feeling that I've been like trying to avoid, which is a feeling of like always wanting to grab at something, always wanting something or somebody to hold on to. So then I turned to food. At one point it was weed, and I don't do that anymore. I will probably make a video on why I don't smoke weed anymore. Occasionally I'll drink wine, but I know that alcohol is bad for you, and I'm not trying to get involved with that. So sometimes I turn to food, and I know that I shouldn't. I'm a Taurus. I can't help it. The stuff that can happen, the stuff that can transpire in relationships when you are not healthy in your own mind, and when you are not firm within yourself, and you don't know what you want in relationships and what you don't want. Um, when you jump into a relationship with all that confusion, bad things happen. Sometimes I'd be like whatever, like I'm gonna take a risk. I just need a man. You know what I mean? It's just like I'll just who cares? Like who cares about the risk? Like just bring just I just want to be a man. I just want to, you know what I'm saying? And like don't ever think like that, because then you draw all types of negative energy into your life. You're literally saying to the universe, bring me any man. And the universe is like, okay, any man, here you go. And then they bring you somebody crazy. They bring you somebody who's a narcissist, or somebody who's a emotional or energetic vampire. Because you didn't send signals to the universe that was specific, that said, send me a man who respects me. Send me a man who actually sits and listens to what I have to say and treats me as if my opinion and my emotions matter. You didn't ask for any of that. So what would the universe do? The universe will send you somebody that you really don't want. You don't know that you don't want this though, because you're just too busy being desperate. You're just too busy. I want him, I want him, I want him. That you're not taking time to step back and say, what do I want from this him? Who is this him? And what is this him gonna give to me in my life? Is he gonna provide anything for me? Is he gonna help me to grow? Is he gonna help me to learn? Or is he just gonna take up space in my life? Is he just gonna try to, peer pressure me into doing stuff that makes me uncomfortable? Is he gonna use me? Is he gonna use me to make fun of me? Is he gonna use me to make himself look better? Is he gonna use me to feel like he has power over something, so that he can boost his own male ego and to make him feel like he's the man? Because there's a lot of men out there that do that, and they're called predators. That's why you need to love yourself, because when you don't, you attract predatory men. You attract men who think, oh, she doesn't love herself. I guess I can just do what I want with her. You put yourself at risk, and you make yourself a target, and you make yourself vulnerable. When you put yourself in a relationship with a guy that does not care about you, and why does he not care about you? Why are you in a situation where a guy doesn't care about you? You know why? It's because you don't care about yourself. So being in a relationship is really not it's not all it's cracked up to be. And it's kind of crazy for me to say that, because I've never been in a relationship, but I feel like that there's a really amazing part of relationships that you can only experience when you really love yourself. And so I've gotten a taste of it, just a little taste of like when I'm in a good vibration and I'm feeling good about myself, and I go on a date, I get a taste of how a potential positive relationship could be. But I don't know anything about relationships, so don't really be listening to me. I don't really know. All I know is that I've been involved with some guys, not in a serious monogamous relationship, but in something that I can't even title it a situationship, a friends with benefits, a fling. I don't know what you want to call it, but it was crap. And I thought I was happy. I thought I was enjoying myself. I thought I was getting everything I needed. And it turns out that that relationship was depriving me of everything I needed. I don't even know why I keep saying relationship. But at the end of the day, we had relations with each other, so I guess you can call it a relationship, but it wasn't a boyfriend-girlfriend thing. I wanted it to be so desperately, but thank God it wasn't. Thank God God is smarter than me. And he was like, no, this is not going to be a whole relationship. You're not going to be able to last in this relationship, because it is going to be too much for you, for good reason. Good thing God is smarter than me. yeah, that's all I have for you all today. Like, comment, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Please take care of yourself. If you are desperate for a man, don't be with a man. Okay? And if you're desperate for a woman, don't be with a woman. Because that attracts negative people. That attracts negative situations. Okay? So, like this video, give it a thumbs up. That really helps me. The more you like my videos is the more it will be suggested. Okay, so share also. More people need me in their life. Okay. So yeah, peace out, y'all. Hope that y'all enjoyed this video.